So this is how dead the streets are. Totally empty. Co-op outside my house is full up. I find myself drinking vodka and just sitting there eating rather than getting on with anything. Now, I could be getting on with media and stuff, but I just don't feel like it. I haven't got that urge to do it like a schedule you'd normally abide by has been totally ruined by this virus.
Okay, so it has affected my sort of mental health in so much as I find it difficult being indoors the majority of the time. I mean, normally I'm quite a social person. I'm usually out doing something, I'm with somebody, and so I'm finding it very, very difficult to not see people, to not go and do my regular routine. I think that's as well something that's been upsetting, is it's disrupted my routine majorly, and that's one of the things that keeps my mental health quite stable. So that's been very difficult for me to keep on top of.
So I think the coronavirus was probably caused by a combination of different variables, from poor hygiene in food markets to eating food that we really shouldn't eat, to the way the population is packed densely in that part of China. And it probably was an accident, and it probably has mutated over the last 6 months by various means through hygiene, through transmission through different populations. And despite the conspiracy theories of it's being generated, the sad truth is it probably wasn't. It probably is a natural mess.
Okay, so I think probably the coronavirus may have been caused by sort of genetic works that they were testing on bats. Maybe they were testing medicines and vaccines and you know, different viruses on bats and stuff. And it's just got out of hand. It's just maybe jumped species or something, because the rate of the mutation of the virus is quite staggering, because apparently it's like developed 3 or 4 times in the last few months.
So I've been stuck in now for a good 2 weeks, and the sun's been blaring and cracking the edges in the morning.
So the social isolation thing is difficult for a few reasons. The first one is spending a lot of time in your house by yourself, away from family, away from friends, and then getting used to that, especially if you're not used to it. Then you've got the changing routine, which is difficult for a lot of people. I don't realise how difficult it is until we start doing it. But then when you start going on for 4, 6, 8 weeks, it becomes even more impossible. And then after all this is over, people will have actually gotten used to this type of living. So the anxiety of going back to being what is normal, I suppose, is going to be even harder. So I think there's a lot of challenges mentally there for people to get around. And maybe some of those challenges, they're not even aware of them yet until they start happening.
So it must be quite hard for people without a garden or people without a yard to cope with the constant isolation this coronavirus has brought to us. Yeah, so with the sun out and everything, I tend to think I want to go out. I want to go and just cruise to the beach, which you're not allowed to do, or just sit there in the sun, which I can because luckily I have a yard.
Yeah, so I'm happy with the social distancing regulations that they've put in place. I think it's important to protect sort of the young, the vulnerable, the elderly, all our key workers. It's a necessary sort of step in preventing the spread of this illness across the population.
So I think the social distancing measures are a really good idea. I think 2 metres probably isn't quite enough. I'd probably go a bit more than 2 metres, maybe 3 or 4, depending on what research you read. Really inconvenient, really nasty for standing in queues, although we're very good at that in the UK, standing in queues. And maybe over the next 6 months we'll be able to figure out a better way to contain it rather than social distancing.
So what can you do, you know? You can sit there, watch TV, watch a movie, or draw something, or have something nice to eat. But you basically can't do anything at the moment. So Boris did a talk a couple of days ago and cut down and changed the restrictions. Hopefully it's coming to an end now, and I hope that everyone out there that I know is well, and that you all keep safe, and it all gets back to normal as soon as possible, man.